Saturday, September 10th. Thought I'd do another garden walk. The end of summer here. The beautyberry is very beautiful right now. The birds will be loving this very shortly. They haven't gotten into it yet, but they will. And it's very beautiful. Canna lilies are about done. This garden, I took out all the tall cosmos, dahlias, sunflowers. The peanuts are really taken over, which is nice, filling in that space. There's a few zinnias that came that I planted later, so they're really pretty up close. Not as pretty from a distance, but they're beautiful up close. I love them. I get lots of pictures of the zinnias. I think they're beautiful. But it's kind of empty in the back. So this, and then the Verbena at each end. In the heat, it was really not doing any flowering, but now the flowers have come back, so that's nice. Hopefully they'll give me a good show off through the fall. When they're done, these dahlias are coming out, the peanuts will be done. I'm gonna fill this up with more soil cube, get it more rich soil in there, fill it up, and hopefully put some broccoli and some winter vegetables in there. This cherry tomato is still giving me a few cherry tomatoes every day. It doesn't look very good, but it's still producing. The hibiscus gave me a second show, and it's just about done now. I did plant some potatoes, which I think, yep, I'm seeing some little green sprouts coming up right there. So, when did I plant those? On the 18th of August I planted them, so hopefully those will start coming up soon. This little cucumber, I got one out of it so far, and it was kind of bitter, so I don't know if that's going to do much. This garden I did some work on yesterday and today. I took out some purple coneflowers. I relocated my red and yellow coneflowers, cut down the blanket flowers that were looking sad, and I put in a bunch of these broccoli plants, and then put some straw over it. Oh, and I put some pea seeds in along the back for some snap pea pods. So I'm hoping that these cooler weather plants will take over while these other ones fade away, and hopefully the two that I moved won't mind it. I gave them really good drink. We had a good rain yesterday. I've got the irrigation on them, and I will keep an eye on them. This one here was the yellow one. It was way too close to this purple one, so I moved that. And then this one right here was the red one that was way too close to this purple one. So I tried to give it some space for next year. And then the middle here is the Shasta daisy that gets really big when it does its thing. So trying to give everything a little bit more space this year because it was pretty crowded. The bee balm is done. The butterfly bushes are sad. Trying to leave them alone till next year. Got some obedient plant being pretty. There's another one up there. Very pretty. Passion flower. It blooms occasionally. Nothing's blooming on it right now, but it still looks good. Again, these sun patience, the white sun patience, are just magnificently huge. Cosmos, which sometimes look like weeds, are still not blooming, but hopefully they will. It's a pretty color zinnia. And then 4 o'clock flowers. And this huge plant is a mum. I'm really excited about it because it's loaded with buds. So it should have a gorgeous, gorgeous showing this fall. Butterflies. The morning glory arch looks good, but no flowers. I'm hoping before too long it does something. And they're going all the way up in the neighbor's bushes. So if they start turning blue, give me some blue blossoms. It should be a gorgeous show, but so far not yet. The ginger is still producing. It smells wonderful. Beautiful little flower. Just looking up in the side of the trellis. Brown-eyed Susans are still hanging on, but they're near the end. That peony is starting to turn. I might cut that back. And I've got a lot of annuals in here, and then lantana, which I need to get out. move somewhere else and rescue this coneflower that's down in here. It needs more space. The straw flower is looking pretty sad, so it needs to come out. And again, the coneflower in the back that I'll move up for next year. This is the flower that I don't know the name of, but I just think it's so pretty. Other than it is tall and gangly and I have to tie it up, but it's so delicate. A ferny leaf, and then all these hundreds or thousands of daisy-like flowers. Look like asters. I don't know what it is, but I don't really care. I just think it's pretty. And then the second showing of asters, that's been a beautiful plant all summer. It bloomed like that, and then now it's doing a second show. And then hiding under here are rain lilies, which only don't bloom very often, but they're pretty now. And then crepe myrtle still blooming, looking beautiful. And these tomatoes are fine. They're all falling over, but they're starting to turn. So I've got quite a few green ones in there. So I should have a pretty good, it's probably gonna be my best harvest unless I had a really good harvest when I was in Michigan. This is the most prolific harvest I would have had all year for many of my plants, I think. I've taken out some, I took out the eggplant, took out some other tomatoes. I put in a broccoli here, put some marigolds, I'll just push them together in that one. Still waiting for these tomatoes to finish up before I take it down. Everything's looking pretty sad. This is looking nice. These cream sausage tomatoes are almost done and they'll come out. The rice is very intriguing to me. I just think it's the coolest looking thing. I'm so glad I grew it. I love the dark purple of these leaves and then the fluorescent green of the rice. So I took out, I'm listening to Bree, she said to not use standing water anymore, but I keep it wet still. And the azaleas and the black and blue bring the hummingbirds and the bees. And I've got some, I did top this raised bed off with some soil cube because it had sunk during the year. And I got zinnias growing. I put in some peas underneath the trellis. And I put in carrots and beets, which are coming up. So there's the carrots. And I've got a pretty good, all the way along, I've got carrots coming. And I got the irrigation right on them because they like to be wet. And then beets. They did not all germinate, but I will put more seed. I got lots more seeds, so I'll keep planting them. But I've got a good number of them to have. I put more carrots in here, which are not up yet. The clematis, and morning glory vines. The straw bale is falling apart. I'm using that now as mulch on my other gardens. It's nice black soil that it's breaking down into. Strawberry patch looks pretty sad, so I'll have to do some work on that this fall. Got morning glories here, tomatoes here, and out there is the chair where I've been sitting watching the caterpillars, the monarch caterpillars. There's one climbing up the house, and there's one still on the milkweed. I have to keep my eye on them, see what they're gonna do. And then last but not least is a loofah, which you're gonna have 7, 2 really large ones, and there's the hummingbird. And then I've got these ones here. They're getting big. Smaller ones up here. And then of course that's the biggest one there. And there's another one here. It's almost the same size now. The moonflowers are doing great. And of course the grape tomatoes that were a volunteer plant have been giving us nice tomatoes every day. There's a hummingbird up there. So from a distance, it's not a lot of color other than these. Well, these hummingbirds are just flying all over the place here. Other than these sun patience, they're beautiful. Everything else is kind of near the end. These sunflowers keep producing and I can't bear to cut it down because the birds love it and the flowers are pretty. So that's it for today. Happy Saturday.